When we look to trauma, we might actually look to the traumatic event that might be the source of the trauma, but the trauma itself comes in the after effect of who was there around you to help you move through this overwhelming experience that happened in this traumatic event. Which, if there's no one there for us and everyone just stood by, it's almost like that bystander effect. So let's do an EFT tapping on the bystander effect for trauma. So taking full responsibility for your own well-being and repeating after me. Let's go with that flow and let's begin to tap. Even though I felt very unsupported and I felt very unheard when a traumatic event, or perhaps many traumatic events, happened to me, and everyone just stood by and did nothing to help me. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even though the people that cared for me and were there to protect me may have been the people that hurt me and weren't there for me because they didn't want to hear the actions of what they caused. And I had to suffer in silence. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even though this made me feel very isolated and untrusting of others. I choose to heal and let go of the inability of other people to act. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself. This bystander effect, ever understood by and didn't want to get involved. When I voiced that something wrong happened to me, they diffused this responsibility and no one took action. No one validated my experiences. Instead, the opposite happened. My experiences were dismissed, were too uncomfortable to hear, and I was told to be silent and not to speak up for myself. And these may have been the people in charge of protecting me, but they diffused that responsibility and didn't take charge when wrong was happening. This bystander effect, everyone effectively stood by. Perhaps they were too fearful to take action. Perhaps they had the inability to act. Perhaps they didn't know what to do. So they chose to do nothing instead. They looked the other way. They created reasons why it was acceptable to not take action, to be there for a person in need. And they began to accept their unacceptable behavior. It's their fault. They should just get over it. They're just being a victim for speaking up about the abuse that happened to them. They should just move on by now. Because if they do, then I no longer have to deal with this issue. This uncomfortable thing that happened to a person that happened to a person, that they didn't choose for it to happen. This violation, this trust that was broken in people that said that they'll be there for me, but were just simply there, looking on, not wanting to get involved, not even wanting to be an ear to listen to those experiences that happened to me. Perhaps they just didn't have the capability or the emotional maturity or the emotional intelligence of simply being that person that someone else could vent these terrible experiences to. All this anger, all the shame that I've had to carry. When a traumatic event happened to me, and I looked to others for help, and they just looked the other way. And I started to carry this trauma, this burden that I have to bear alone. And now I have the effects of trauma. Because someone in my life couldn't take the responsibilities to take action, to take healing action, and mend the hurt that happened to them. So they acted it out upon me. And now I carry that burden. But I'm choosing to heal and grow from this. If other people can't be there for me, at least I can be there for myself. And choosing to separate the pain that happened to me from the healing strength that I have. It took a lot of strength to burden that pain, to carry someone else's inability to act. And once I channel this into my own healing growth, I can start to change the pain within myself. To know that I am worthy, and that my self-worth is important. And though other people didn't see me as important, I'm validating my own experiences in my own eyes. I'm definitely aware of the pain that I carry, and I don't need other people to validate who don't really want to see me in the first place. To see the other side of the coin, and to hear that some people's facades are merely fronts to commit terrible acts behind closed doors. Not everybody wants to see that. Not everybody wants to take the responsibility to simply be there for a person in need. And these are the people that I look to in my past as I look to my future, of those that I do want in my life, that won't stand by, that do respond to those calls of help. And they might not have the best answers, and they might not know what to say. Is really, what can you say to a person that's gone through tragedy? But they might not walk away, and they might not look away, and they might not have the right answers, but they might be just right there for me in that time, holding that space for me, allowing my tears to happen against this terrible act that happened against me. There's nothing they really can say. There's no magical words that make it go away. As I process this grief of what I lost, perhaps my childhood innocence, perhaps my trust in those that I thought were trustworthy, I grieve and let go, and I resolve and dissolve all that pain and anger, all that betrayal, all that mending and silence, all that being told that I don't matter, grieving and relieving, healing all the pain from painful people. It shouldn't be my responsibility, but other people couldn't take responsibility for their own actions. And now I'm healing from their reactions. I'm no longer standing by on my own pain. I'm hearing its call, and I'm responding to my own needs and being there for my own emotions, rather than denying and repressing from all these lessons that I've learned from these people who simply wanted to stand by and not take responsibility, or not even want to be there for a person in need. And maybe in time, when things happen to them and they realize the pain of no one being there for them, perhaps they'll connect to their own selves so that they can connect to others. And it's my choice whether I choose to reconnect with these people that left me behind and said that my emotions don't matter. And it's up to me whether I decide to forgive them, or at least be happy that they're at least seeing the actions of their inactions. Not all the pain in the world is mine to heal. Not all healing is mine to heal. I can only heal what I'm responsible for. And I'm not responsible for the pain that happened to me. But I am responding to a life where I want to be free from this pain by no longer standing by and being involved in my own healing. I'm freeing myself of this pain of abandonment, but I shall not abandon myself. And I look to people in my life who will truly be there for me in mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. And yes, it was renowned trauma psychiatrist, Dr. Bessel Kolk, who did say that it's not the traumatic event that happened to you, it's the results of who was around there, who was there to attend to your needs. Similar to the still face experiment or a baby crying out, we might feel discomfort in a communal situation that a baby is crying out, but it's the only way it can express its needs, and its needs need to be met so that it can move past something that has happened to it. But the more that we deny the experiences of a person that's gone through a traumatic event, the more that it just perpetuates, and the more that we start to lose our humanity and our human decency. So replacing apathy for empathy for these people that have gone through these experiences. So I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services. I offer EFT Tapping one-on-one online to help you downregulate the stress around some of these experiences that have happened to us. So check out eflowtionsupportservices.com if you're willing to take action. And until the next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.